Have you ever used a bidet?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Every time I go sit down to use our toilet and I go to use the bidet, I've been trained to double check the power. The power level of the bidet. Full power hurts. Like, I feel like it's about to pierce me and go through me and make a huge bloody mess in the bathroom. And so I gotta make sure I'm checking the power. Check your bidet before you wreck your bootay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 32 of Mustache Ride podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, as always, Sureman Cool. And right here next to me is the wonderful, amazing, the Dirty Tooth, my co-host. As always, it's always us. It's never going to be anybody different.
I'm always here, somehow. You always invite me back. A replacement, yeah.
Yeah, well, no. I was going to say, until we can find out how to do this show purely on AI.
Yes.
Where we just have to like press a button and let the AI do the show. And then we can just like kick back, bro. Rake in all the money.
Rake in the dough from the AI. I like that.
All the money that we make from this show, it's just gotten a lot easier to make.
I'm into that. Let's do that.
Yeah, me
Not
too.
Tonight will be the real people. Maybe.
Once we figure out this newfangled technology. Yeah.
We might not be real tonight. This might be a whole bit to make it
maybe
seem like we're not AI.
Like reverse psychology. Yeah. See, the AI has gotten so sophisticated that
you'll never know.
Yeah, and what the AI even knows that we record this show live right here at twitch.tv/mustacheridepod twice a month, every other Saturday nights. And we'd love it if you joined us like so many people do. Cycle in throughout the night to watch the show live. But yeah, otherwise it'll be up on YouTube. You might be watching this on YouTube later. Hello. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe.
Comment.
But comment. Like
Turn
the
on
video.
notifications.
Heck, tell us how horrible at podcasting we are. Engagement is engagement. We'll take it. Look. Hey, I know there's always room for improvement, you know?
Is there?
Always.
When you're a 10? Can you be an 11? Like,
yeah, you can. I've seen 11s.
I guess I've never asked anybody to rate me on a scale of 1 to 20.
No,
that changes but it changes the game. Because if you're a 10 on a scale of 1 to 20, you're mid.
Is it so wrong to strive for 11? You know, off the charts.
Off the chart.
Is it so wrong to want more?
That's not wrong.
You know,
that's not wrong.
I don't think it's wrong.
Nah, it's not wrong. It's good.
We have so much to talk about tonight, and I'm really excited to get into it. We're going to be talking about all this Phil Spencer Xbox drama, all this stuff coming out about Phil Spencer being just such a great guy, and all this stuff. Got some stuff to say about that. Got some opinions on our minds about that. We'll have to share our thoughts. And then we'll also be getting into Indie Iceberg as well, talking about Peglin. We played it. We've played it, beaten the game, and we've got some opinions on that as well. But first, no opinions, straight, cold, hard facts, Tooth. I want to know what the hell you've been up to, bro.
I'm going to give you it through solely opinions. Like, I'm just going to give you opinions. Sorry.
I was hoping you were going to say through song.
Like the game that I played, A Bard's Tale, that I just beat.
Hey, not bad.
That's podcasting.
Look, 11. Give me a break, okay?
We're in 11. We're there. Okay, so I just beat The Bard's Tale. It is a circa 2005. 2005? Yeah. It's a PlayStation 2 game. It's an old game. It released on PlayStation 2. It is a isometric, top-down-ish action RPG where you play as this bard. He's a total beep. He's such a jerk. Like, he's a jerk. And you get to choose two different like voice lines like through the game as you're playing. Like, you can choose the smiley face one where he's kind of like a happy jerk, and you choose the mean one where he's a mean jerk. So I don't understand. It's really snarky. It's a snarky game. The version that I played was actually called the remastered and re-snarked version or something like that.
So they're aware of the snark.
They're aware. It's meant to be like that.
Okay.
But because of that, it's a pretty wild game. Like all of the interactions that you have are just hilarious. Like I've never seen a bard with less charisma in my entire life.
Yeah.
And so it's really funny. But ultimately it's a very dated game. Like the remaster does nothing for it except maybe breaks it a little more. Like if this version is better than what it released at, then I think Redfall's we'll talk about it later, but Redfall's 100% okay.
Yeah.
But this game here, it's very dated, but I think it's worth the playthrough. It's on Game Pass. It's fun. Like there's a lot of different endings. There's some side quests that you can do. And so the story seems cohesive with some twists and turns, multiple endings. So I think it has all the baseline for a good game, but it is pretty buggy. There was lots of times where the audio would just like stop in the middle of a dialogue. And so I'd have to like turn it off and turn it back on. Like
what
the whole
platform
game.
were you playing on?
I was playing on Xbox. So I was doing just on the Xbox. Yeah. But generally really good. It was my 34th game beat on stream live, full playthrough. 34 games live.
That's so many.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah, they just fly by. I guess like looking back in hindsight, it's a lot, but over time, it just doesn't feel like a lot.
No, it doesn't feel 34. Like I've beat 34 games, but maybe when I get to 50, I'll have to do something super special. But most of the games, like or you may not know if you're watching this video, are requested by viewers. So I have a channel point redeem. It's expensive because I don't like to have like a huge backlog if I can help it. But it's a 35,000 point channel point redemption where you choose my next story game. And so I've had 2 redeemed in the last week. Actually, so I have games back to back coming up. The first one is Elder Scrolls 5, or people may know it as Skyrim. It's going to be a big game. I don't really know anything about it. I feel like it's been a long time coming. I'm excited to play it.
You've never played Skyrim,
but I've never played Skyrim ever. Never.
The game's like 12 years old.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
You're in for a treat.
I feel like I am. I'm going into it pretty much spoiler free. Like the only thing I really know is about memes of people like making funny videos, like walking into walls or like standing on chairs. Like that's really all I know about it. Otherwise,
or just like something happening in real life, or like the baseball comes at the camera really fast. And then it blacks out, and then you wake up in the Skyrim cart, and dude says, "Oh, you're finally awake." Oh,
yeah, that's the only thing I know about it. Like, so I feel like I'm going in pretty spoiler free. I think it's going to be cool, a really cool game to play. Speaking of like 12-year-old games, I have had somebody, I'm not going to say who they are, but I have somebody come into chat, and they mention a game. It could be any game. I mean, like they've mentioned a bajillion of them, and they're like, "Man, like you're an L gamer, bro. Like you never play any games that I know." And I'm like,
I saw that.
I'm like, listen, I didn't have a PlayStation. How am I supposed to play any of the games that came out on it ever when like PlayStation 4 is the first one I've ever had? And
yeah,
I
you
just
say
got
that,
it.
and then they're like, "What about Infamous?" And it's like, bro, I literally the words that I just said.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
So if you come into a stream, people aren't L gamers because they didn't have the same console that you had, just so you know.
Yeah, if anything, they're W gamers for playing old games in 2023, trying to fix those.
I'm an 11
mistakes.
Bro. I'm an 11. I'm not an L.
Yeah,
okay.
11 gamer.
An 11.
That's gonna be that's gonna be our clothes company. That's gonna be our brand company. 11 gamer.
11.
That's actually kind of sick.
That is kind of sick.
Actually, kind of sick.
Hey, write that.
No, not you, not you, viewer.
Yeah, not you. No, we're talking to
write this down.
We're talking to the producer. Write this down.
Editor, make sure you get this.
Get this. Cut this out.
Okay.
Next game, Overwatch 2. Still been playing it.
Yeah.
It's still good. I mean, it's bad, real bad, all the time. It sucks all the time, but it's good. Yeah. I like it. I still play it all the time. I've also been playing Rocket League. I feel the same about it, actually. Real good. It's such a good game. I hate it. I hate everything about it. It's so good. I'm gonna play it. Maybe tonight I'll play it. I hate it. I'm trying to get out of gold and plat, but I feel like I'm at that level where I need to start learning more difficult mechanics. I feel like I'm maybe at that point. Like I can't, if I'm playing against somebody that has those mechanics, I can't do anything against them. Like if you're in the air, nothing I can do. You're just gonna score on me. I don't know. So I feel like I'm at that point.
My number one tip, if you're at that point, is to try to play Rocket League, but don't play in a game, if that makes sense. So like load up Rocket League, but don't load up a match. Yeah. Like go into free play, go into training packs, try to find a training pack that you can just kind of like mindlessly do over and over again.
Yeah.
And just like lose yourself in that, and then realize how long it's been. You haven't even actually played Rocket League yet. And then that's when you know, like, you're finding it fun to work on those mechanics. It might be beneficial for you, because when you're just grinding, queuing on tilt, you're not going to learn much.
So. No, it's and that's so true. I have been like, I do load up since I've started playing, and since you guys started working with me, like I do load up the training pack every single time I play, and I play that for about 30 minutes before I start a game, whether or not I know that I'm going to be in the games that night. But it's a bronze to silver training pack, and I'm in gold and plat, and so I feel like I gotta bump that up to the next level of like, whatever those are. But I need to do that. But I'm having fun with it. Also, there are so many games on my to play list. Part of the problem with asking people to submit games is that I have a lot of games that I've thought about too. And so I feel like I need to stream more, which, all the YouTubers right now, I'm looking like, you're going to stream a lot more. Like you're such a Twitch person. Shut up. I got to stream more. I want to play more games. That's the reason that I want to stream more. Yeah. Two, I just feel like I miss out on some of that like release hype, because I'm streaming not that game. And it's not that I want to stream that game, but it's just like I feel like I miss out on some release hype because I don't watch any of the streamers play it. Like the Jedi streams right now, I'm not watching any of them. The Tears of the Kingdom streams that are happening right now, you heathens, I'm not watching any of those. So I feel like I just need to figure out a way to play a lot more games. Somehow. I need more time to play more games. And then I did make the best / most practical stream upgrade that I've ever made, I think. Besides buying a computer, I bought a really long power strip. Then the plugs are really far apart from each other.
How many sockets we talking?
We're talking a 16 socket power strip.
16. That's long. That's good.
I think it is.
I think I have one. Yeah, and you mounted it up underneath your desk, or is it on the ground?
It's 10, not 16. For some reason, I thought it was 16. I mounted it up in line with my desk, and so the cords.
On the wall.
On the wall, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so I have it just like there, so I can move my desk freely. Maybe I should. I didn't think about mounting it to the desk. I didn't want anything like hanging suspended hanging down.
Oh.
But it's been the best purchase that I've made, because I was having to like unplug my Switch like dock and plug in my Xbox.
Yep.
And that sucked. And now I can have all of them plugged in. If I want to play Switch on this screen and Xbox on this screen, I can do that now.
And the plug for like just the Switch alone is giant.
Yeah.
And so you plug it into one of these, it's got 20 different outlets, but they're all right next to each other.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You end up taking up 2 or 3. And so, definitely. Yeah. What a good investment. A long power strip.
I'm a I
agree.
Gamer. 11 gamer, bro. Power strip.
11 gamer.
But that's it. I tried to keep most of the opinion out of it. I mean, I
forgot about that.
I did what I could.
That's okay.
Have you played any games?
Let it slide.
I heard you stopped gaming.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing for me. Anyway, moving on. I joke. Yeah, I've been doing some stuff and playing some things. I just can't help myself. I just gotta. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for nostalgia, Tooth. I am a sucker for old games, old experiences, things that I have played in the past that I want again. That I love it. I just soak in nostalgia sometimes, and probably not good for you. Like it's like living in the past, right? You shouldn't be living in the past.
Don't live in the past.
Like, let it go. But I just can't help myself when games like Diddy Kong Racing exist, and I remember how much fun it was, and I go back and it's still good. Kind of easy, but then certain levels are kind of they're not easy when it's BS.
Is it
dude,
easy?
It's tilt. BS.
Full tilt.
Sometimes. Okay, those planes are hard to drive. The planes in Diddy Kong Racing, hard to drive, inverted controls. I'm not some freak like the Dirty Tooth where I prefer inverted controls for everything.
W gamers prefer inverted controls.
No, see, we drop you down to 10 for that one. Sorry.
Whoa. Well, I only went down to 10. Still perfect.
So there's some tougher parts of Diddy Kong Racing, but for the most part, it's fun and it's a good nostalgia trip. Just like Simpsons Hit and Run. I've been playing that as well. I'm not like maining these games. I load them up, I play for a little bit, I save it, and I move on to the next thing. It's just to kind of, I don't know, get me into something. Do a race, do a mission in Simpsons Hit and Run, and then go to the next thing. I don't know, but I bounce around a lot of games. That's why I don't finish anything, because I just bounce, bro. I'm a bouncer.
I've beat 34 games.
I never kept track. I should have kept track, but I guess if I wanted to, I could go back to the very beginning and
you've played 3,000 and I counted.
I know it's a lot.
3,000.
I don't think it's 3,000.
You played 3,000 games and you finished 4. I counted.
Oh, that I would buy, actually. That sounds kind of accurate. But yeah, I've been playing those older games. Thank God for emulation. Screw you, Nintendo. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I've also been playing Contraband Police.
Solid game.
I've mentioned it maybe last episode as well. It's been so much fun. For multiple reasons, from different angles. It's been so much fun. The game, every time I stream it, there's something new, something crazy that happens, or something that baits me into making something crazy happen.
Yeah.
And it's just super fun. And then on top of that, the community surrounding the game, the viewers that watch the game on Twitch, the other streamers and stuff, it seems pretty cool. Like there's a lot of streamers from other languages playing the game. And so there's less English speaking streamers sometimes at certain times of the night. And so it seems maybe there's less choice. And so they come and raid me. And so I've gotten like quite a few raids while playing Contraband Police. I've gotten a good amount of followers, met some new people, new friends. And so it's been a really great game for growth. And so it's one of those things as a variety streamer, one of those like perfect, like the stars aligned for a game like Contraband Police, what I like, and then what the viewers want. It just seemed to all align to where been a great experience. Contraband Police, check it out. If you are a streamer, it's fun.
It's a solid game. Like I feel like it's so fun to watch. Like it's a fun to watch game because there's not like a lot going on. So like it's a good stream game to watch because I feel like the streamer has to like you can't just like play it. Like I feel like a lot of games you can get like so focused in on, but like you have to like make content with it. And I feel like if you do, like that's such a fun game to watch. So it's been really fun to watch you play it.
I agree. Thank you. Yeah. I'm happy about it. It's been fun. So yeah, check out Contraband Police or check out my stream if you want to see me playing it. But I actually did put out two YouTube shorts recently, just this past week on Contraband Police. And the first one took off. The second one a little less, but kind of more took off than my other stuff. And it turns out people like seeing Contraband Police. I think the reason is because of the antics, the silly antics that happen. And then you clip it and it's just gold. Perfect eyeball food, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
eyeball food for these YouTube Shorts viewers.
That's
They
good.
just eat it up.
I like it. I give it an 11.
I would too. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Contraband Police 11. Another 11 so far. I just started the game, so I don't know yet. Cassette Beasts. Have you heard of this game?
I have. I watched Pete Plays the Games.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Pete
Plays the Games.
Pete Plays the Games.
He's been evangelizing this game quite a bit ever since it was announced in development. I think it's the same developers that made a game called Lena's Inception, which was another really fun, kind of more old school style game. And this Cassette Beast is like a Pokemon-like, but you're like a character. You wind up on this island, and you're given like a cassette player, and you use it to transform into a beast, and then you can record other beasts and capture them. It's basically Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon terms given different names to fit this setting and universe. And it's just great. There's a lot of Pokemon likes out there, and so if you're into games similar to Pokemon, Cassette Beast is the next big one, and it's beautiful. It's that 2.5D art style. It's really pretty, really cute, stylish, live animations. Like everything's so it seems so alive. All the animations are really cute, and it's good, and it's a really good game. So
yeah, it seems really great. Like I
shouldn't say it's a really good game. I haven't played it yet. I don't know if it's a really good game.
Yeah.
But what I've played is promising. I'll say that. I've played it maybe the first hour or so. I would definitely want to go back to Cassette Beasts. Also, I started Redfall.
Ew.
I started it. I haven't gotten to anything bad yet. What I will say is that the writing, it's a little try hard. If you know, it's like it's got the cheesiness. It's towing the line almost to the Forza Horizon dialogue cheesiness, because there's some cheesy ass dialogue in that game. It's like that. It's just they're trying too hard.
Yeah.
In some ways to be like characters.
Like they tried too hard to release it right now.
Well, yeah, but we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about Redfall more later in the Phil Spencer conversation. But I did start it. I'm not seeing everything that everyone's talking about yet, but I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
None of these people aren't lying. Phil Spencer himself isn't lying when he says that he's disappointed in the game. So I'm sure I'll run into it if I continue to play.
Has there been a patch out yet, like for it, like that almost instantly came out? I don't know. I haven't done any research outside of watching that Phil Spencer video and hearing Twitter blow up, but
I don't know. But the good thing about it is it's on Game Pass. So if you're curious, it's only like a 110 gigabyte download away. So it's a lot, but it's like free-ish.
Free to play if you have Game Pass.
That's if you pay for Game Pass. Yeah. So
but
like
still,
half free.
Half free.
Yeah. But also Valorant. I played Valorant all last night. I played it for hours, and it was super fun. Just playing with the boys. Just getting down and dirty in the Valorant, popping domes with the boys. You know? It's a good time.
Boys, popping dome.
I made the realization. I'm sorry, I got to say this.
Say it.
The newest character on the Valorant roster is Gecko. Gecko is a Pokemon trainer. He's not like a Pokemon trainer,
but he is.
But he's a human in command of like 3 or 4 little monsters, and he sends out his little Pokemon. He says, "Do the bomb plant move," and then the Pokemon goes blah, and then goes and plants the bomb, or he says, "Oh, go do the blind move," and then he runs out there and blinds people. He's a Pokemon trainer, dude. Sick.
Can I pull him up? I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this guy. I haven't seen it.
Gecko. He's pretty cool. He's got good style. But at the same time, like he's just another Valorant character, but he's a Pokemon trainer. It's pretty sick.
Okay.
Well,
what is this?
That's him, but that's a short.
Is this a trailer?
I think it's just a really short.
I got baited. into
Yeah.
I got baited into thinking that was a trailer.
Just look up gameplay. That's the same thing.
This is the trailer. This is from Valorant.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You could just look up gameplay if you want.
Why is this like this? Okay.
It's like Overwatch.
Okay.
But yeah, Gecko's cool. And he's I don't know, I haven't played him much, but he sends out little Pokemon to look, you see? He just sent out a Pokemon to go use self-destruct.
Okay. Most replayed.
Do the Gecko thing. Do one of the Gecko things. Oh, look at him. Look at that little Pokemon. That's a Pokeball right there.
Blue.
He throws the Pokeball, and the Pokemon comes out and does something, probably. Another Pokemon, chucks it. Look at that. Look at that floating Pokemon up there.
Okay. A lot of people seem to ace with him. Interesting. Okay, Gecko. I haven't played Valorant in a while. I feel like it's one of those games where people are like, "Oh, Valorant like sucks," blah blah blah, and then people stop playing it for a minute, and then all of a sudden, like nothing happens. Like it's not even that they release anything necessarily. It's just like then all of a sudden Valorant's like popping off again.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I'm used to it. I hop around games all the time, but I think people just get sick of the style, and also, frankly, it's too much of a time commitment. It's too much time. Like to play ranked, to build, to grow your rank, to increase your rank takes hours. So long. Every single game is a minuscule increase or decrease, and it's like, what are we doing here, man? Like, you think I don't live for this? I didn't, but I saw that the new gun skin pack, a total of $110 for like 4 or 5 gun skins and a couple other little doodads. $110, dude.
I mean, that's not
crazy.
Like, I feel like it's crazy, but like I'm sort of like overstimulated by the amount people are spending on CS:GO skins. Though.
I guess that's the justification, right?
Yeah, it's like I could spend $3,000 on CS:GO skin. That's
silly. But I also, so next thing, and then this is the last thing. Second to last thing. I think last episode I mentioned my headset and how I had to destroy my headset.
You broke it.
I did. I destroyed it. It's official. I destroyed it. It's destroyed.
I saw you hit it with a hammer.
And now I got my new one. It's the same thing, but this one works. So I'm a happy camper. Yeah, I'm a happy guy right now. And then, so that's I'm just happy for myself.
Shout out Reddit guy to help fix the problem-ish.
Yeah, the r/SteelSeries mod.
Yeah.
Elijah. Shout out Elijah.
Solid.
Yeah. And then also, so I got that, and I've made some purchases recently. Due to legal stuff with my job, I came into some money. It was some like big class action lawsuit. They just sent me a check.
Solid.
But I guess it's money. It's money that I was supposed to be paid but never did.
Yeah.
And so they sent it to me or something, or it was a settlement or something. I don't know how it works. I just
got money. Yeah.
Yeah. So I came into a little bit of money. It's like it's nothing life changing, but just enough to feel comfortable making a couple little purchases, putting a little bit away in savings, and then acting like it never happened. Purchases I made. A third monitor for my streaming PC. So as you can see behind me, I have a TV back there and then this monitor, and that's all I have to turn anytime I want to see how my stream's doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have another monitor right here. So more in front of me. That's awesome.
I like
and
that.
Then a little wireless vacuum, a rechargeable wireless vacuum for my keyboard and my desk and my PCs when I dust those off. And then a bunch of different components, an SSD, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a new battery for my old laptop. So I have this old 2012 MacBook Pro, and I love it. I love it so much. I miss it, and I didn't want to move on from it. So I've decided to upgrade it. Look at all my stickers. It's fun.
It is fun.
And yeah, I decided to just upgrade it instead of buying a new laptop because I don't need a new laptop.
What are you gonna nickname it?
I have so many technologies. I don't need another laptop. I have this one. I'll just upgrade it. Name?
Yeah, what do you name it? Like it's gonna be your content machine, you know? Like you're gonna make so much content ideas on it, you know?
Maybe. Okay, well I'll name it
what's the name of it?
Phoenix.
Solid. Yeah, that's a
because it lived a great life, a great long life, and now it's rising from its ashes when I fix it. So yeah, I have all that stuff coming up for Phoenix for the little upgrade. I might try to film it or stream it, doing the upgrade, opening it up, putting in the new stuff, closing it back up, and breaking it live on stream. It should be great. I don't know, but I'd like to do something like that because it's a fun little project, upgrading my old MacBook.
Yeah.
And then, and I also bought a new chair because this chair, the armrests are like splitting and pinching my elbows.
It's time for a new chair.
Yeah, it's just time for a new chair. I've had this one for years. And I'm going to see if hopefully my sweatshirt cover on my chair will fit on the new chair. We'll see.
You're going to put that sweatshirt on and you're going to be like swimming in it. You should put it on after you take it off the chair.
Well, the only reason it's on here is because it's too small, or else I would wear it.
It's got to be too big now. Yeah, it's definitely fixed now.
Got that bacon neck. Oh, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, it's nice to catch up. Tooth, I know we talk every now and then, but we never, two buds in conversation we don't. Well, hey man, how are you? What have you been talking? What have you been doing?
Yeah.
And then I just sit here and listen to you talk without distracting myself or anything. Two dudes don't get this kind of quality communication. No. And so I really cherish that. I'm glad we're able to catch up once every 2 weeks.
I feel like if we are talking or playing a game, like both of us have a YouTube video up too.
And 3 streams,
and you're like
also writing something, and
you're like saying something, and I'm like, what? Like, did you say something? Like, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
Can you
this.
wait? What was that? I could tell how important it was, but I was doing something. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to acknowledge that, and just I think we're pretty lucky to have this little outlet of ours, even if Shark Shampoo is our only fan ever. Shark Shampoo and Icewing Drake and Apollo Epsilon and a few people in chat. I'm just glad you and I get to have this little allocated time to hang out. So
yeah, it's fun.
So now let's rip Phil Spencer a new one. How about that?
Yeah, we could do that, but I don't.
Why would we?
I don't want to.
No reason to.
Yeah, he's so nice though.
Do you want to break this down for us and introduce this topic?
I do,
regarding Phil Spencer.
All right, so we all know, or maybe you don't know, but Redfall came out. Sherman Cool played it. Hasn't experienced any problems, kinda, but ultimately the game has sucked. Like, I mean, that's the general consensus. Like, they did like in the video that I'll pull up here in a little bit, but in the video they talk about how it double-digit underperformed in their reviews. Like, that's bad. Like, either your reviews are not critical enough or that game sucks. And I haven't played it, so I can't make full judgment on it, but I know that Twitter's blowing up, YouTube is blowing up, and people are just collectively shaming, like, not only Xbox and Phil Spencer, but the studio that developed the game. Arcane Austin. They're blowing them up. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So what happened is Kind of Funny Games had Phil Spencer on, which is kind of cool. Like, it's cool. Like, in this heat, he's coming into something. This isn't the first time Phil Spencer has done this either.
Yeah.
He does this. And so, yeah, I'll pull up the video. I feel like we could have it playing and just kind of sort of talk about bits and pieces of it while we're
or like, real quick before are you gonna mute it or is it gonna be unmuted?
I can mute it
if you
with captions.
Yeah, sure. I just want to say, because for a little bit of added context, because I know and just like this happened previous, Phil Spencer was set to go on their show as an interview, just just to shoot the shit, just to hang out and catch up with Phil Spencer and how they've been doing, and just to catch up on other Xbox stuff. But between the time they set up the interview and the time that Phil Spencer actually showed up, Redfall released, and the CMA had blocked the Xbox's acquisition of Activision Blizzard King. And so it was kind of like we're gonna go do this interview. It should be a good time, but part of me is wondering, like, how much did Phil Spencer already know when he set up the interview, versus he was blindsided as well, but still decided to do the interview. Either way, I think it's good of him to do it, but it's kind of, it gets you thinking, how early did they know? But according to the interview, they didn't know. Their internal tests, like you said, double digits better than what the actual reviews were. And so it leads me to think that Phil Spencer still just decided to nut up and go on the show and do the interview anyway. And I think the Kind of Funny guys, they're a big inspiration to me. All those guys that are in that video, all the guys that Kind of Funny and stuff, and they just knocked it out of the park. It was such a perfect interview. I couldn't have thought of better questions to ask Phil Spencer. I think there was a little bit of rambling. But we're all tend to ramble at times. I can't blame anyone for that. But when you have a short amount of time with such an important interview, of course they didn't know the virality that maybe it would take on. But let Phil talk. Let him talk.
Yeah.
Like, speak as least words as you need, the least amount of words as you need to let him start talking, and just let him talk. Cause that's what I was missing. We got too much context and preamble to each question. And I feel like we just needed to let Phil spew a little bit more.
Exactly. It's not like a Jim Ryan interview where you interrupt him all the time. Like, that's what you should do. But like, it's Phil Spencer.
Yeah, and it's not the kind of interview that I don't think, maybe a little bit in advance he had the questions, but the questions that he was asked, clearly there weren't. I don't think Phil saw the questions and said, "I'm not answering that, or that. Give me different questions," because these were hard hitting questions, and they, like, at times, Paris Lilly, one of the interviewers, he said, like, and let me just run down a quick list. He's like, the
quick list.
The 12-month roadmap you guys put out. You know what? Let me just put out a quick list. And he runs off like 10 games in a row, right to Phil's face. That we have heard about once or twice, and then radio silence. And he's like, "This is wrong. Like, what are you gonna do about this?" And then luckily, there's that showcase coming up June 12th, I think, or something. Yeah. And we're supposed to get more info at that time, but yeah, all that's just to say, really good hard hitting questions that I think Phil just did his best. He showed up and just did his best, and man, unheard of honesty and transparency from the video game industry, from people that are so far above anyone else's pay grade. It's crazy.
And I feel like he didn't have to, like, come on. No. Like, even if he did know everything, like, this is an interview that you duck, Like, if I'm in Phil Spencer's position, I'm not a hero right now. I'm ducking that interview. I'm like, no way. Like, I'm not getting in this line of fire. Like, even if they sent me the questions, I would be like, no, I'm good. Like, I'll come back on, like, when we release another, like, Hi-Fi Rush banger. Okay, like, invite me back on when that happens. But I'm gonna play the video while we just keep rambling about it, and I'll have the captions on so you guys can hear it or listen to it. But I'll have it playing here. Yeah,
I just want to reinforce the fact, because, like, they asked him the hard hitting questions.
So
you know
hard.
What I mean? They had him there. They softened the question. They tried to make Phil feel good and then slap him in the face with the question.
Yeah.
And I think it was a really good kind of a masterclass of getting the interviewee to answer the question. I think Phil, he wasn't trying to beat around the bush, but the compliment but answer this, like, but give me an answer to this. Because, like, Gary Whitta, another awesome creative, was just buttering up Phil Spencer, but also arguably was the most harsh, I think. And Phil's response to everything was humble as hell, and And
yeah,
man,
I feel like what I really liked about it is that it wasn't like a build up Phil Spencer interview. Even though some of the conversation felt like that a little bit, it was like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, are you actually committed to any of this stuff? And that's a big question, especially for people to ask that are huge fans of Phil Spencer and Xbox and what they're doing over there. And so it's kind of interesting to hear um the kind of compliment sandwiches that came out. It's like,
yeah.
You're doing such a great job at Xbox. Dude, this totally sucked. Why did you let this release? Like, I can't believe that you let this happen. You're doing a great job.
Or
I'm
Gary
excited
Whitta
for
straight up saying to Phil's face, like, sometimes we have failures like this. He says failure, like this was a failure for Xbox, for you, to
Yes.
Phil's face. And Phil's not denying anything, but
No.
he says, but failure isn't like in spite of success. Failure is a part of success, is something like that, is what Gary Whitta says. And Phil really liked that because it's obviously true. It's kind of a mantra Phil seems to live by, because he even says in this interview, he even says that if you're as in the creative industry, if you're afraid of failure, you just shouldn't be in the industry, because it kind of goes hand in hand. You can't have the big heavy hitting successes without stumbling blocks, without failures here and there. And that's, he understands that fully. But the questions were that, like, how could this get past quality control? Like, how could you let this slip through the cracks? Because it's bad. This is real bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like it's blown out of proportion a little bit,
Yeah.
Arcane Austin is a studio that is known for making really good games, and they came out with a bit of a stinker. And Phil Spencer says straight up, that's my bad, because we didn't offer enough support, because this game was already in development, or it was like further along in development when we acquired the studio. And so we didn't think they needed the help. But they did, apparently. And by the time we knew that, it was too late. That's the kind of the gist of what Phil says. That's really all I need to know. That's all I need to know, because I understand. I'm pretty it doesn't bother me that Redfall sucks, because another thing they talked about in this interview is the pretty banger year Xbox has had thus far, with like Hi-Fi Rush and Minecraft Legends.
Yeah.
Those are huge.
Yeah.
Age of Empires or whatever, that nerd game, huge.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm not in the camp to be like a studio can't put out a bad game. Like, you're going to put out bad games. Like, you have to. Like, how else are you going to create good games? Like, you don't make banger content just by making banger content. You make it by making bad content. Like, that's how you know what doesn't work. And the failures, I agree, like the failures are what help you grow. I will say though that when games used to release on cartridges, on discs that weren't patchable through things, like when that happened and a bad game came out, I feel like the next game that came out from that studio was either great or that studio didn't make games anymore. And I just feel like it's such an excuse to be like, we can patch it. Like, let's release it. We can patch it. And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, okay, like you can definitely do that. But like, should you just like accept that? Like, is there an acceptance point, like 50% through development, you're like, this game's not going to be ready? Even with a delay, it won't be ready.
And we're not reaching the vision, like the case with Redfall.
Yeah. And so I feel like at some point, like there has to be like a critical like move to where like, we would rather release this game and make money off of it. And if that's the case, like that's what you're doing. Just be honest with it. Or you're looking to push the envelope to the next new game that's about to come out. Redfall's not doing any of that. It released a bad game. It's not pushing the envelope. It's sort of like a mashup of a bunch of different games together. The graphics aren't crazy, like it's like, what did it do to be able to release so half-baked? Like, what is it doing?
It kind of raises the question about, so this is a whole different thing. My mind is spinning with this this question that I'm about to bring up, but I'm thinking of like cultural differences between Japanese studios or like Nintendo and Xbox in regards to publishing video games or
Yeah.
even like just first party IPs. Because I look to Metroid Prime 4 and how Nintendo has been pretty open about how they've had to restart development on that game, I think more than once.
Yeah.
And straight up, they are not going to blemish their name in the industry by putting out a bad title. Now, granted, it's a sequel to an already pre-established title, so if it's not in line with that, then it would make that whole series look bad, right? But I think with a new IP, it's a different story, and you kind
Yeah.
of got to put it out there. You got to show the proof of concept for whatever thing you're trying to make. The problem with Redfall, like you were saying, they're not pushing the envelope and they're not trying to change anything. They're just trying to make something. It's not a proof of concept. The
Yeah.
proof of concept for what they made already exists in better games.
Yeah.
And they just failed straight up.
They just straight up failed.
In regards to the cultural differences thing that I'm thinking of, like Phil Spencer has been trying to get Xbox into the Japanese marketplace and stuff, but then he puts out, he allows crap like this to happen instead of stepping in and saying, no, we're going to cut off production because this would be embarrassing to us if we put it out.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that kind of holds back Nintendo or Japanese developers from working with us American studios, Western studios, because that bar for quality isn't as high.
Yeah.
There's some poor quality, Japanese or games out there, of course, but I just wonder what that difference is, because Nintendo's put out bad games too and stuff that underperformed, but
yeah, that's true.
I don't know. There's a consistency to it that another part of me is thinking like Xbox, despite Activision Blizzard King, put that aside, Xbox has a lot of different studios.
Yeah.
That they more or less recently acquired that haven't put out a lot of games under Xbox yet. And so Phil Spencer has to take these punches. He's got to take these punches for a little while these studios under Xbox put out games. By putting out games, they create that culture of games for Xbox. Like right now, PlayStation is in that groove with all their banger after banger games, all their fire studios just putting out quality.
Yeah.
I feel like Xbox is they figured they went through the growing pains in the PS3 era and then finally kind of really got in their stride in the PS4 to PS5 era. And then Xbox lost the Xbox One era, did really bad, and now this is their
time.
Growing area generation for Xbox, which a lot of us just hope we were past already. But
that's true. I do want to respond, but I do want to also, like, is Mike a robot? Like, look how still he is. Like, I've never seen anybody so still. Like, except that one movement, which looked kind of robotic anyway. He's so still. It's so great. Like, this is like 30 seconds and he doesn't move. That's so wild.
I love Snowbike Mike. Mike's the Snowbike Mike, the person on the screen on the left in the Xbox hoodie.
Yeah.
Snowbike Mike. Pretty sure he smokes a lot of weed, and that guy is stoned a lot. He's pretty open about it. I don't know. It looks like he could be, but I think he might be a little high right now.
He's so still.
But dude crushes it.
Oh, yeah.
As the host of this, dude crushes anything he's on. He's so
good.
amazing.
He's good.
Big inspiration for me, that Snowbike Mike. I love that guy.
Yeah, I really like him. I like the cultural differences approach to like the game development. I think I don't know like how big it plays into it, because I do agree. I think those studios have put out really bad games. Like,
yeah.
And I think but the thing is like, I feel like when they put out a bad game, it's not because it's buggy necessarily. It's not because it was underdeveloped. It's because it's a bad game. And I think there's something to talk about there where like, you might have a bad game on your hand. Redfall might be a bad game. And if that's the case, it also can't have tons of bugs in it. It can't be unplayable for some people. Like, it can't be like that if you have a bad game.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when I'm thinking of like other games that came out Like you have Cyberpunk that came out. When Cyberpunk came out, like I
Buggy.
like yeah, like it was unplayable for so many people. But I will say, I felt like that game was pushing an envelope somewhere. Like not for me necessarily, but it was. When Fallout 76 came out, it wasn't. It's another Fallout game. And it sucked. And it was just buggy. Like I feel like they had it figured out and then they just like I don't know what they did. And now it's better. Like both of those games great now. Like and it's like No Man's Sky. Like I feel like they were pushing an envelope somewhere. And it came out, it sucked. Now it's great.
That's great.
And so Redfall could get there, but I think the problem that it has is that it's still I don't think it's a good game. Like I don't think it's going to be a good game even if they fix everything.
Like you said, or just like you mentioned, No Man's Sky, I think there was a fundamental vision for the game that you could still see that light at the end of the tunnel, that vision for what they wanted the game to be. And then slowly but surely over years, they built it up to what it is now, which is, I think, the full realization of that vision and more. And for Redfall, that's the fundamental issue is that fundamental vision is not there. It's blurry. It's blurry vision.
It's very blurry.
You know, it's bad. And so there's not much you can do about that patch wise to fix it. But regardless, in this interview, Phil Spencer says the team, Arcane Austin, he still has faith in them and they're still going to be plugging away, trying to fix it, trying to squeeze what they can out of it to make it the best experience possible. And again, I just want to mention, Tooth and I are both big Xbox fans. So whatever you want to take this as with a grain of salt, if you'd like, it's okay. But I got high hopes for Xbox in general. I do think that this Redfall business was a bit of a big blunder, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be a blip on the radar. It's not even it's gonna be not a big deal. And then Phil Spencer coming on, it's huge. It's such a breath of fresh air, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think the average person might not understand the significance, you know, because people are so used to seeing heads inside boxes on their screen. You know, it could be anybody, and it doesn't matter. But this is Phil Spencer. This is a guy who admits in this interview that he is overpaid for the job that he does.
Yeah,
he says that publicly to Xbox fans. Directly to his own audience. He says, I understand that. With every statement he makes, he has a qualifying statement saying, believe me if you want, or, despite everything that's happened, or considering everything that's happened, I'd understand if you don't believe a word I say.
Yeah.
But, then he still says it because he's talking to us. He wants the Xbox fans to know himself that he's in this for the long run. So, he said that people are calling for his resignation. He said that in this interview.
Yeah, I think.
And he said he understands.
Yeah, I disagree with Phil Spencer. Like, I think it's blown out of proportion to where it's like this game had a vision. They missed it. It released. It performed well in the reviews. Like they took all the necessary. Apparently it took all the necessary steps. It released. It's bad. He needs to take accountability for it. He did really well. Took full accountability for it. He didn't blame the studio. Huge. That's a huge move right there. And Arcane Austin is good. They make good things.
Nobody's getting fired over this,
and so,
according to
they may or may not. I don't know. We'll know whether or not somebody gets fired, probably on Twitter. But I feel like they've made good games. They know how to make a good game. They know how to push the envelope. I think that'll happen. I don't think Phil Spencer should resign. I think it would be terrible for Xbox, especially now that they're tracking towards a huge W year. If they can rebound from this in the showcase, and I don't want to read into it because I don't know if I can't read Phil Spencer very well. I don't know if he's hinting to a lot of things in the showcase, but it seemed like he was hinting to a lot of big things happening in the showcase. So I'm looking for another shadow drop. I'm looking for a lot of things that are likely going to happen during this showcase that are just going to make people forget that Redfall probably even exists, to be honest with you.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like it's another horde game, like
open world
killing
zombies. They
zombies.
might as well be zombies.
Like I'm not like, I don't care that you don't like it, to be honest with you. Like it's a horde game. Like you're not supposed to even like them. You're supposed to just like spend 7 hours playing it. Like that's what you're supposed to do.
You got your tinfoil hat.
Tinfoil.
I forgot mine, so we're just gonna have to do this raw.
We're gonna have to do it raw.
Conspiracy time.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Phil Spencer knew that this would be a bad game. He directed Arcane Austin to make a bad game.
Okay.
He did this because the next big release, I don't even know what it is going to be really good. And then in comparison to Redfall, it's going to look even better. So he's sacrificing one of his children so that the next child he has is like beautiful and smart and successful. You know what I mean? Like, to the gods or whatever he's sacrificing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my theory. And I got a lot of evidence to back it up, but it's all a lot of big lawsuit, big issues, top secret. That's all I can say for now.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Xbox Game Showcase, Gears of War 6 Shadow drops on Game Pass.
Spit out all my drink.
The spread on that, like if we were betting people, like if this was a kick stream, like if I won that bet,
you'd make a lot of money.
I would make
nobody
so
would
much
ever
money.
back you up.
Nobody would back me up. But that would be something like that would be crazy. Like it's not going to be Gears of War 6, right? But like I expect a shadow drop. They know how to do it. Hi-Fi Rush was hella successful. I think they'll do it. And I think Redfall will fall to the back burner, not for Arcane Austin. They'll continue to push that game, and I think they're going to make it better. It's still going to be a bad game.
Fingers crossed.
I still think it'll be bad, but it'll be playable. It'll work. Like things will be great within it. But I look for a shadow drop in the game's showcase, which is happening
June 12th, I believe.
Yes.
June 12th. So maybe next episode or the episode after that, we'll have to do a little predictions segment to see maybe we can predict what goes on in this June 12th, I think, showcase for Xbox. Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, I don't know, I feel like at this point we might as well be an Xbox podcast, just like the Xcast here. But we're not an Xbox exclusive podcast. No. There's just a lot of news lately.
Yeah.
What's the news for PlayStation? Another fucking Last of Us remake or another like Spider-Man something? Like they're all great. All the games are great. They're good. You know it. You know it's going to be good. So whatever. Like what's there to talk about? It's good. Okay.
Yeah. I think one last thing about this is that they made this point in the pod, the kind of funny interview that there's other games that have come out that are just like been garbage. Like the new Jedi game came out.
Yeah.
On PC, garbage experience for people. Performed terrible. And I feel like it doesn't get the heat that a game like Redfall, who was anticipating this game? Like I know we talked about it, but like I forgot that it was coming out, and then it came out. I was like, oh, Redfall, we talked about that. Like
and now everything's blowing up about it because it's such a big deal that it flopped.
Yeah, it's so weird though. Like I don't understand. Like
I think it goes to show the pressure that's on Xbox's shoulders to make something good finally. You know, something that is an a representative of the extent of what Xbox can give. Because we get that with PlayStation. We know what the best of the best that PlayStation can give us is. But I haven't been impressed like that with Xbox. And maybe some people were hoping Redfall would be that. And I never really thought it would be that game, personally. But I had higher hopes than what we got. That's for sure. Considering Arcane's track record, it's just it doesn't seem right. It like really doesn't seem right.
Redfall's at a 6 or at a 5, and Jedi Survivor is at a 6. Nobody's talking.
Really?
Nobody's really talking about that. Like on
I've
Steam,
only heard that Jedi Survivor is a great game, but
it is great.
Bugs.
It is great on console. On PC, unplayable. And so it's getting a 6 out of 10. Redfall gets a 5. What's Redfall? Never even heard of it. Jedi Survivor, the top, like probably the top talked about game, like for a long time. Huge fan base.
But it goes to show that fundamental difference that we were just talking about, in that, like, the fundamental issue with Redfall versus the fundamental issue with Jedi Survivors. Jedi Survivors is just buggy, but the story, everything else is like AAA video game. So it just doesn't run very well on PC. But the issue with Redfall is that it's a new IP. It was hyped up. The marketing was huge. And it came out 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series X. What did I buy this thing for? Yeah. Why am I using this if it can't even run a game at 60? But it's the game's fault, because it's a bad game. But it just goes to show that you can't just patch it. Jedi Survivors, in a few more weeks, you're never even going to remember that it had any issues on PC. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But Redfall in a few weeks is still going to be probably still buggy, and probably still repetitive and boring and all that other stuff that all these reviewers said. But
that's just sort of the game. That's the game.
If you have Game Pass, try it. Like, everything's so negative about it, but learn for yourself. Don't take my word for it, because I'm just a dumb guy on the internet, and Tooth is just a smart guy on the internet. But
I've
still
never
don't take his
it.
word for it.
Yeah, I've not played it. I probably won't play it. Definitely don't take my but I think you should play it.
That's the reason I started it, is so that I could get a firsthand experience and really know, but I didn't get far enough into it to be that authority. So, yeah.
I also think, though, if you have Game Pass and you're playing it on Game Pass, I don't know necessarily that you get, I don't know if you get to tell me how bad of a game it is because you pay $14.99 a month and you're playing this $70 game. It's like you play the game. Play the game. Yeah. Be happy that you get to play that game.
Sure.
On Game Pass.
I mean,
be happy.
That's another thing. I got one more point to make too now. You just reminded me of another one, because I really feel like, are we as a gamer community, as a people, are we gaslighting Xbox and Phil Spencer? Because, like, think about all the value, all the games that they've given us with Game Pass access, the cloud gaming, Game Anywhere. It's all so amazing, and there are awesome games that are on that platform. Yeah. Maybe not first party, but easy access to a lot of good stuff. And then they put out one bad game, and everyone's like, "You, how could you? You promised. You. This is on game. This isn't what I'm paying $1 for 3 months and then $15 a month for hundreds of games. How could you do this?" And then Phil Spencer, it's coming from all directions. What is he gonna do? I'm sorry, you're right. Just wait for the showcase. It's gonna be great. I know, don't believe me, but I swear it's gonna be great. Like, we're forcing him to give us more, when really, like, all he needs to do is focus on making a good game.
Yeah.
But we're demanding so much more. I just feel like I feel bad for Phil Spencer. Same note, tinfoil hat. Maybe he's trying to make us feel bad and put him in the pity party.
Oh, reverse
so that
psychology?
We feel bad and buy Xboxes. I don't know.
I'll buy an Xbox, though.
Why would a millionaire come on and be so humble like this? It just doesn't compute.
I'm sorry for your struggle, Phil. I'm gonna go buy an Xbox tomorrow. I'm really sorry.
It's so not fair they're treating you like this, Phil. I'll make it right. Take my $70.
Take my $70. I'm buying Redfall. I have Game Pass, but I'm gonna buy it.
I'm gonna buy it anyway.
And I'm gonna go get an Xbox.
All the while, Phil's like, "Yes, buy the game. We won't patch it."
Oh, it's so true. One last thing, 110 gig. Oh my god, isn't that crazy, bro?
Big old game.
If you're a game dev, if your game sucks, like, make it 50. Like, max.
Put that in a zip file, bro. Like, come on, compress that shit.
Yeah, like WinRAR. Like, I don't need 110 gigabyte download for a game that sucks. Okay, I don't want that. If I want that,
Agreed.
I'll just download Call of Duty.
Yeah, or I'll just go back to my new favorite game, Peglin, for our final segment. For our final segment of the night, Indie Iceberg.
Indie Iceberg.
There we go. Love it. So, last episode, Tooth and I unveiled our new segment, Indie Iceberg. And we talked about Peglin. And it's a game. I found this game based on a episode by the Spiffing Brit. You might see the on the screen behind us. Really great content creator, good YouTuber. He breaks games, and he broke Peglin, and I wanted to break it too. So Peglin was the first game for the Indie Iceberg segment, and so Tooth and I both bought this game, and we played through it.
Yes.
We both beat the game, which isn't saying much because we cheesed the hell out of it.
I didn't cheese it.
Yeah, you did.
I beat it.
Yeah, you beat it. You beat it, all right. Me too. And I big cheesed it. What was it? Big cheese or old cheese?
What was
stinky
it? Cheese?
Old cheese? Head
Cheesy
cheese?
Parmesan cheese?
Dick cheese? Anyway, we both beat the game. And it was really fun. It's a really cute game. So now that we've played it, Tooth, I think I'll let you go first. But first explain maybe more in depth what your understanding of Peglin is now.
Yes.
Now that you've played it, and then give me your thoughts. Bad cheese. It's called the bad cheese. No, not the other cheeses you were talking about, Tooth.
It's not the other cheeses.
Come on, man. Grow up.
Gross. Okay, so Peglin is a pachinko rogue like. On the podcast last time, right here, Mustache Ride, we talked about the differences between rogue like and rogue light. I don't know the difference still.
I do. So rogue like is like the old game Rogue, which is a game where you go through, you die, you start at the beginning. No ifs, ands, or buts, no carrying anything over. You just start over, like an arcade game.
Yes.
Rogue Light is kind of like Rogue in the past. It's a light version of Rogue where you die and you do bring some stuff back. So,
okay.
Yeah, like and light. Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know the difference. But this game is a rogue like. So it is different from a rogue light. But it's pachinko style rogue like, where you play as this little guy. It's a Peglin. That's the guy's name. The little
Peggle Goblin.
Peggle Goblin, yeah. And what happens is you have these little pegs. They're like bubbles. It's like a bubble shooter, right? Like you're shooting the little bubble guy thing. And each one of those things equates to some level of damage. Like I knew that watching this video. You showed me this video. I was like, yeah, this game, seems fine. Seems cool. And this isn't a game that I normally would play. If it was mobile, I would play this game all the time, probably. It seems like a solid mobile game.
Why isn't it?
I don't know.
Might be.
Not mobile game as in like Raid Shadow Legends. This seems like a good mobile game. Like it seems good for that. But anyway, like my experience with it, anyway, is that you moved through it. I played it without cheesing it first. I got halfway through the game. I got to the second final boss and got absolutely wrecked. Like it wasn't even close. But it was a lot of fun. I would not normally have played a game like this, so this was really cool to do this segment, the Indie Iceberg. And so that was really cool. But after watching this video, I was like, I gotta try to cheese it. Like how cool would that be?
Come on.
And I will say that it's not a full break of the game, I don't think. Like it definitely depends on like one, like you have to actually be able to progress far enough into the game to hit a shop. You have to have a certain encounter. And if you don't have that encounter, like it's really hard to get to this. It's really hard to get to this level. But the break is that you can leave the game, come back and continue the game because you didn't die, and it resets your shop. It resets the rewards, so you can keep playing the bosses over and over again. You don't like the rewards, go back, get some new ones, do it over again until you get what you want. But I will say that it was really cool to be able to do that. Play through as far as I could without doing it, then do that, and then try it again. And I will say that I got not quite as far as I did the first time, and I haven't been able to get any further than that.
Without cheese.
And so these fights are hard. This is a hard game.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it, but then but it was at first.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't. Yeah. The cheese. So the thing with this game is that after each encounter, each battle, you get to add something to your hand, I guess, your pegs, your orbs. Yeah, your orbs. You get to add orbs to your collection of orbs. Well, the cheese strat is just a certain synergy of different items and different encounters in the world that you need to find and do to basically make you an unstoppable, unkillable god.
Yes.
In this game.
And each of the orbs do something different. They all have like different abilities that you can get like per orb.
Yeah. And so with the cheese, you basically get rid of all your orbs, and then you take on relics or items that whenever you reload, certain things happen. And if you don't have any orbs to reload, then you're only always reloading. So the thing that allows you to not take any damage while reloading, you're never taking damage. The thing that allows you to do 20 damage every time you reload, you just do 20 damage. That stacks on top of each other, of itself. So you do progressively increments of 20 damage, higher and higher, until the battle's over. So not only are you just constantly doing damage, but you're constantly not taking any damage. So it doesn't matter what happens, you just don't die. And you just wait. You just click, wait for the battle to be done, click again, wait for the battle to be done, and the game's over. And arguably it was really fun. It was a fun way to beat the game. But it's the kind of thing you do once, and then it's kind of not fun to do anymore. Yeah. And you want to go through and find other ways, other items synergize together. And that's where the real fun, where the real magic is. And I didn't beat it legit. I only beat it on the cheese.
Yes. Halfway is about as far as I got. I will say that the cheese alone won't do it for you. Like, you have to have other items. But the cheese,
I just mean like cheese as in like the strat. It's a cheese. Yeah. It's a cheesy strategy.
It is cheese, and it's also cheesy.
It's bad cheese.
Cheese and cheese, yeah. And so I think that there is a lot of really cool things going on here in this game, because there's so many relics. Like, I feel like I feel like I was still getting new things offered to me. Like, every time that I played, I was like, oh, I haven't seen this one before. They just had an update to it as well. They didn't fix the cheese. It's important to know.
I sent you a picture because I saw it required an update required. And so I took a screenshot and I sent it. I was like, I don't want to update it because I don't want to lose the cheese strat. Yeah. But I ended up updating it, and I checked it earlier, and you can still back out, go back in and re-roll your shop, re-roll your rewards, and pick, keep doing that until you get the one you want.
Yeah.
You can actually see in the footage behind us right now, the spiffing Brit is doing a battle and trying to re-roll rewards to get the item that he wants. And it's funny. It's funny. And it's an option. Yeah. And honestly, the best games they leave in the options to break the game.
Yes.
Because ultimately it's your choice. To play the game on easy mode or on the hardest difficulty. And people willingly choose to play the game on survival, Fallout New Vegas on survival mode.
Yeah.
And that's a choice, and that's fine.
And my choice was to be a god. You still bought the game. Like, I feel like that's the one thing that people don't understand. Like, or at least like I feel like when they fix something, it's like, let people break the game. Like, who cares? Like, how cool is that to watch people like find this out? Like, would we have known this, like, if it wasn't for the spiffing Brit or the other 700 people that made a video after the spiffing Brit?
Right.
Would we know this? No. Like, I would not have put all of these things together in my mind. Like, a game where you have to get orbs to progress through the game to do damage, my first instinct wouldn't have been, nope, I'm not gonna have those.
Yeah, but the real testament to a good game or a good indie game experience is that when you play it, it doesn't seem out of place. Like Peglin, it just sounds like it would be a thing. You know, Peggle's already a thing. You play as a little goblin, Peglin, and then the way they lay it all out, it just all flows so smoothly and seamlessly. Like it's just a really good fleshed out experience, a good mixture of a lot of different things, and it really made some magic here. So
and I'm happy
about the purchase.
There's different bosses too. Like it's a
for each run.
Yeah, there's a lot of variety in this game. So like right now he's getting the slime boss, which is arguably the hardest of the two first forest bosses. The other one's like
not taking any damage.
The other one's like a mole rat or something. Like I don't know, like but it's I like that it's different encounters every time. So even if you did cheese it every single time, you're still getting new content in it.
Man, Tooth, I think if you like this game, I think you would really like Slay the Spire. I don't know if you're much into card battlers.
Yeah.
But
I think you would like it. I like Hearthstone.
Slay the Spire because
magic.
They have the same like map screen that you progress. You get to pick your path, just like in Peglin. Each level, it's like laid out very similarly to Slay the Spire. Each level has a different boss. Each level can have a different boss than a previous run. And it's just like it gets progressively harder as you go along, and you build up your deck of cards just like you're building up your orbs. And it's this guy's like speed running. Whoa,
yeah, this is a speed run. 5 minutes.
This guy's going fast. But yeah, that would be a good one, I think, if you liked Peglin, Slay the Spire.
Okay.
Because it's a little more thought provoking than Peglin is too. Because you got like each turn you can make a different you can have a different strategy, or you just got to learn when to take damage, when it's okay to take damage, and when you need to just not take damage so that you can do more damage later. It's a whole thing.
Am I going to be able to play like this guy?
Darling.
This guy is killing it, actually.
I think you could probably play better because you have both eyes.
Oh yeah,
is that an eye patch or like?
No, I think it's a.
Does he just have one?
I think he has one sunglass thing in.
He looks like a pirate.
That's distracting, though.
I have the screen a little bit small.
Maybe that's.
Okay.
Maybe that's his speedrun attire. Like he needs that for. Focus.
He kind of looks like the guy from Zombies Ate My Neighbors with the 3D glasses on, because that guy has like super tall, spiked up blonde hair.
Yeah.
That's a game. I'm gonna add Zombies Ate My Neighbors to my nostalgia list of games.
That's a good game.
Yeah, and in 10 years,
forget about that game.
Peglin will
be on that list, and all because Indie Iceberg.
And if you guys are wondering why do they make those dumb noises, it's because that's the noise an iceberg makes. You silly.
Yeah,
isn't it obvious?
We recorded an iceberg making noise, and then we were like, I bet it would be so much cooler if we just replicated it. And so we listened to it for like 4 hours till we could get it perfectly. And now I saw
on Amazon there's a iceberg whistle. I was thinking about getting that. Go out, catch us some icebergs. What do you think about that, dude?
I think that's a solid purchase in 2023.
My eyes are watering, trying to hold back.
Solid 2023 purchase.
This was a solid episode 32 of the Mustache Ride podcast. That's it for Peglin. We really wait. Hold on. I'm not gonna outro yet because that was Indie Iceberg, and that's it for Peglin. But next episode, we're gonna start the next tip of the Indie Iceberg with a new game that we're between now and next episode. We will decide what the game will be. But at this time, we have no idea. We have no idea what the game will be. If you would like to give us suggestions on lesser known indie games that we don't know about, haven't played, and maybe other people haven't played too, that you want us to sing their praises or play it and shit on it. Who knows? Like, I don't know if we'll do that. I don't know if we want to just crap on an indie game. That just seems mean. They're trying,
is it
you
mean,
know?
Though? Is it mean?
I want to play good games anyway. Give us good game suggestions. I would like to sing praises, but if I'll be honest, if it ends up being a bad game, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, all that's just to say, mustacheridepod@gmail.com if you'd like to send us in indie Iceberg suggestions, or just want to ask us questions to throw in here at the end of the show. We can bring them up and discuss whatever you guys send in to mustacheridepod@gmail.com. And yeah, you can also reach us at our personal Twitch and YouTube channels, over on Twitter. All those links are down in the description, and also in chat for you, if you guys are interested in those. But yeah, that's about it. Any closing thoughts, Tooth? Any final words for the kids at home?
Yeah, welcome to the new segment where I ask SMC a random question that I didn't prepare him at all about.
Oh, okay. Hit me.
Have you ever used a bidet?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Really short. You get 30 seconds.
Okay. Every time I go sit down to use our toilet, and I go to use the bidet, I've been trained to double check the power. The power level of the bidet.
Yeah.
Because might be TMI. I'm sorry, but like, full power hurts. Like, I feel like it's about to pierce me and go through me and make a huge bloody mess in the bathroom. And so I got to make sure I'm checking the power.
Yeah.
But there's other people in my house that just don't seem to they got like a steel butthole or something. I don't know. But it's full blast every time. And I can't do, that's insane. What do you need that kind of high power for? What are you pressure washing down there? That's dangerous. It's true. Man, you hit me. You hit a button.
Do you have a bidet?
Asking this question.
Do you have?
Yes, I do. Yeah, okay, I'm not full of shit. I have a bidet.
Okay.
And this is all legit.
I didn't know. I didn't plan this question.
What? So what's the reason? Are you considering getting a bidet? Do you have one?
I don't have one, but I was just thinking about it the other day. I was out, like I was at work. I was in the bathroom, and I was like, "There's so much toilet paper that gets used, so much," and I was just thinking, like, I've never had a good experience.
Yeah, with
toilet paper, it's a bad experience every time, no matter how good the toilet paper is.
Yeah, I mean, my bidet, Sherman Cool's bidet tips. Tip number 1, check the power before you press the button to activate it. Check the power, make sure it's not full blast. Okay, you're going to make more of a mess than anything, and you'll have to use the same amount, or if not more, toilet paper. On average, I'd say I probably wipe at least once or twice less, because I just don't need to wipe as much. Yeah. Because I've bidet. I've pressure washed it off. But yeah, check the power, check yourself, check your bidet before you wreck your bootay.
That was pretty good.
Not bad.
That was not bad.
So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, over time, somehow, I guess maybe because your wife runs it at fucking full blast, you got to check the alignment. Because every now and then you'll pop that sucker on and you'll just get blasted right on the butt cheek. And you're like, that's not right. That's not where you're supposed to go, bidet. And so those are Sherman Cool's quick 2 tips for the bidet. For check your bidet before you wreck your bootay.
Bootay.
Not bad.
I like that.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. That's a new segment.
All right.
I don't know if it'll ever happen again, but
I'm all for it. You pick another good banger question like that. Really get me fired up like you have.
Yeah.
I think it's a good segment.
Solid question. Okay.
Thanks everybody for popping in. Yeah. Brave New Dan, Shark Shampoo, everybody that popped in. We're going to find someone to raid. Tooth, who do you got in mind tonight?
I got somebody in there.